You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful.
If you believe it, if you really believe that you could be something, if you have that little voice in your head saying, hey, you got talent, you could do this, then follow that voice.
Life isn't fair at all. At all. So what are you gonna do about it? I knew that no one was coming back to help me. No one was gonna miracle me to be somebody special. Everybody that called me nigger, my dad, my mom, all my situations were on me now.
We're going to be hit so many times with unexpected hardships. And these unexpected hardships for most people crumble them. And the reason they crumble them is because they lack the ability to operate during hard times. Certain times are going to be good and certain times are going to be bad. And that's for every single human being on the planet. And most people can operate and produce when times are good naturally. They can do that. Most people cannot operate and produce when times are bad.
We're built for maximal challenge. And that isn't the way we view ourselves in the modern world. We view ourselves as built for pleasure.
It's tough duty to win the fair fights. And there's a lot of unfair fights out there. And why do I want to spend my time if I got 24 hours a day picking unfair fights when I'm going to be busting my ass to win the fair ones?
Almost every successful person that I have ever encountered has gone through not a month or a year, but many years of doing work without reward, where they have to do things that other people find boring, and they have to sacrifice things that everyone finds interesting, that most people want to do during that entire season of their life. And they basically sacrifice a season of other things that they would prefer to do stuff that they would not prefer to do because of the one thing they want most.
Everything you do, you may have some support, you may not, but it's on you. You have to make the decision whether you want to be a badass or whether you just want to be mediocre and everything's okay. But being a bad hurts real bad. And that's why I didn't want to do it.
You want to reach your goal? How to reach the goal the quickest? Be focused with your energy. Meaning, be focused with the mind. Don't lose the goal from the mind. Whatever you do, from the moment of waking up until the evening, whatever you do, keep the goal in the mind. This is the quickest way of making this goal become real.
Everything changed for me when I realized that we're not meant to feel excited and perfect all the time. I started accepting that where I am right now is where I'm genuinely meant to be. Tough days are all a part of the process. Lean into them. Bad days are also part of a very good and meaningful life. So on my toughest days, I think about getting through one more day, one more workout, one more rep.
Life isn't fair. We have to understand that. It shouldn't be fair. It's a trial ground, it's a testing ground. It's built to make us harder. It's built to make us as strong as we can, to test us, to drive us. Mentality is the only thing that gets us through life.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
Any human realizes that if you want some kind of a good outcome, you're going to have to work hard for it. And if you don't work hard for something, you're not going to get an outcome that's really worth much.
If you don't want to live the lifestyle, then release yourself from the desire. To crave the result, but not the process, is to guarantee disappointment.
It's not about being perfect. It's about just every day, one step at a time, trying to be better, trying to do more. And I think a lot of people are struggling to find that purpose, but it's okay. You will find it. Do not give up.
One thing you can't escape is that to be good at anything, you got to put the hours in. It is hard work.
Before you win, everyone will ask why you're working so hard. And after you win, everyone will remind you how lucky you got.
Like, there's people out there that are just working harder than everybody else, and they're gonna keep doing it. And the only way to develop that kind of endurance is through insane work. Just insane volume.
Do it, and do it, and do it,
and do it. That's the hack. The hack is gonna fucking suck.
If you don't change what you're doing and how you do it, nothing else will change.
Nobody else at the moment has the power to change you unless you have that initial spark and say, I must do something. I don't want this anymore.
If you want to change your life, you must change your ways. You must develop discipline.
Discipline eats motivation for breakfast. You don't need motivation. It's great if it arrives. It's some extra fuel on the fire. But discipline is the thing that you need. What would you tomorrow want you today to do? You tomorrow would want you to keep that promise to yourself.
When you're in the fucking game, great things happen and really bad things happen. And you got to take it all in stride. And you got to pick yourself up the next day, strap your fucking shoes back on and get out there and go to war again.
Every day I walk this earth and I see average all over the fucking place. And they want to ask me, how did you do it? I can't tell you how, because you're not gonna do it.
If I'm running on a treadmill and I get to mile 9 and I get complete cramp in one of my legs, and I know I've told myself I'm going to run 10 kilometers today, he goes, I will have to limp the last mile, even if no one's watching, because I can't let the demons in. And if I let the demons in, they'll show up in the 11th round of a championship fight when there's 50,000 people watching me in the audience. And I know deep in my self-story that I'm the type of person that quits when things get hard because I got off that treadmill at mile 9 when no one was watching.
You cannot change your life unless you change something.
If you want to be really great at something, you kind of have to be out of your fucking mind, but you also have to have an iron will.
Yeah.
You don't want to work out every day.
Yeah.
There's going to be days you just want to eat cake and sleep.
Yeah.
But if you want to get past the guy who eats cake and sleeps, you don't eat cake and you don't sleep.
The bar for excellence has never been so low. Most of your competition quits after the first sign of difficulty because they've never known what hard feels like. If it's hard for you, it's hard for everyone. And most people avoid hard things, which is why you can beat most people by just trying.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better. If you avoid those things that are hard, if you don't accept that challenge, if you don't step up and step into that cold water, and you sit on your couch and eat Doritos, I can tell you this is not a good move. This is not a good move. Don't do that.
It doesn't matter where you are in life. It really doesn't. Because the great thing about life is it's always your next move. Your next move that counts.
You can't fake bravery, because if you do a thing in spite of being scared of doing the thing, that is bravery, right? There's no such thing as fake bravery. Like if you do the thing and you're scared, that's bravery.
Just doing it makes you do more. Like do more hard shit makes you do more hard shit. Yeah. Understand that you want it bad, so you're willing to put into work and do things you don't want to do. It's what makes you have the confidence that you know how to push through, and the mentality that I'm the type of dude to get done.
There comes a time when the hard work you have to do is learning that you can't work any harder any longer, and that you have to change what got you here to what will get you to where you want to go. You can work to get anything you want, but you have to sacrifice the other things you want to keep it. And that's sometimes harder than the work.
You want to be the one that says, "F it, I'm going to do it anyway. I know I don't feel good today, but I'm going to go out there and I'm going to prove to myself that even on days that it doesn't feel right, I push myself. The only way to gain confidence in yourself is to build something."
Don't give in to the immediate gratification that is whispering in your ear. Shut that down. Do not listen to that little voice.
No one cheers you for not drinking for a day, not smoking on a long drive, or not overeating for one night. No single workout or meal is ever impressive on its own. The reason so few people understand success is consistency never looks impressive in the moment, only at the end.
So if you're working hard at something and you're starting to feel like it's getting a bit too much, the pressure's a bit too much, you carry on doing it, you're gonna come out of it.
Bro, you gotta fucking stop. You gotta stop with all this I can't catch a break bullshit. All the time you're complaining, you could be instead hustling. You could be instead chasing your dream. You could be instead figuring out what you're doing wrong, trying to improve certain aspects of your life, getting your shit together, reading a book, meditating, something. And that's how you do it. You go and get after it. You don't make any excuses.
Effort, dedication, work hard, because the talent is not enough anymore. And if you're not dedicated 100%, you're not gonna reach the level that you want.
The only reward that you get from taking it easy is the fact that in the moment, it's easier.
If you can't sit still, ignore notifications, and focus on one task for 8 hours straight, never expect to build anything great.
I don't quit. You know, I may not make it the first time, but I'll come back.
You have to have no fear. You have to believe in who you are and what you do, and just go and get it.
It's not about today, it's about the future. You do the work now, and all of the shit that you could ever want to do for your family, your kids, your loved ones, it's all gonna be on a whole nother stratosphere.
You cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around.
You're going to go through this pain. You're going to go through the suffering. How are you going to choose to show up?
A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're gonna have a lot of bad days.
The fear is never reaching your potential.
That's it.
That always falling short, always quitting before you're done, always procrastinating, always not doing the right thing. And then one day you're an old man.
Yep.
And you look back and go, God, I could have been great.
You have to stay the course no matter what. And it takes a high level of emotional maturity because your emotions dictate your motion, like what you're going to do.
If you love something, if you have a strong passion for something, you would go to the extreme to get it.
Embracing the struggle, realizing that the struggle is what makes you you, is what's going to help you get to where you want to be.
So don't give up. If times are hard, good things nor bad things last forever. But most generally, we are in control of our own destiny.
People say, wow, you have no idea how hungry I am. Really? Yeah. What'd you do about it today? Oh, not today, but tomorrow I'm gonna, you ain't hungry, man. You just think you're hungry. You are not hungry.
Every time I get tired or I think I can't go no more, I think of that fucking record. We can make it. We gotta believe, we gotta be mentally strong. When we tired, that's when we gotta put our fundamentals together.
You cannot wish for a strong character and an easy life. What if what you're going through isn't hard? What if you're just sensitive?
Expecting it to be easy is what makes it much harder than it ever is.
Opportunity comes, you can either take it or remain scared of it. If you don't take it, it's gonna knock on somebody else's door. And it's gonna invite them to the adventure.
Anything can be learned. I can start playing golf like Tiger Woods. The only thing that separates me to Tiger Woods is desire and repetition.
It's not about what you want, it's about what's required. And whether that's your best or not is irrelevant. It's just there's a price tag and you gotta be willing to pay for it, or you don't get the thing. And a lot of times it's not what you want.
We can either be hard on ourselves, we can either train ourselves, we can either put ourselves through hell, or we can let the world do it.
If you're too scared to show up and you sit back at home, wondering what if and everything else, no one in hell is gonna call you an opportunity because you weren't present. The winners always show up. They're willing to lose in order to gain. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
And whenever I fail at something, people always say, man, how do you handle failure, man? I fail a lot, dude. But I don't look at failure as failure. I look at failure as your first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt.
When you get your mind and body in sync with each other, you're unstoppable. You have a confidence that can tear down all the walls and all the fears of your life.
You're not as good as Magic Johnson. You're not as good as Larry Bird. You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. You know, I had to listen to all this, and that put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player.
And if you want to be good at anything, you have to work really hard.
Tomorrow rest, and Monday we're gonna begin one more training. If you don't want, go back to Dagestan and stay with your mom. She's gonna give you every day good breakfast. You don't do nothing. stay there. But if you come here, don't complain. You want to become best. You want to become champion. And now you want to say like you tired. Who cares? You tired or not?
I always felt like I could do anything. That's the main thing people are controlled by. Thoughts, their perception of themselves. They're slowed down by their perception of themselves. If you're taught you can't do anything, you won't do anything.
Nothing that has meaning is easy.
Nothing is easy, but you have a choice to make. Do you want to sit down and go back to that guy you once were? No. So this is what it takes. Through repetition of things you don't want to do, armor your mind. Because your mind's like, okay, we suffer every day. It's what we do. We do stuff that sucks every day. So then when the suck stuff comes, you're ready for it.
Everyone's like, oh, later in life, I want to do this. Later in life, I want to do that. Later in life is turning around, looking in the mirror right now. That's the later in life. And unless that turnaround is something in progression, later in life ain't gonna be anything different.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun.
Set up a schedule and just do the work. Free from how you feel. Because also feelings sometimes, you wake up one day, you feel this way, you wake up the next day, you feel another way. And it's just not helpful to base your structure or your goal on how you feel. So, and this is where I think where, for example, discipline, meaning you stick to what you put there on paper.
Every single good thing that happens in our lives, everything, comes at a cost. There's nothing for free. Somebody with an incredible career has no relationship with their kids, right? Everything comes at a cost. But at the same time, everything we struggle with has opportunity and lesson that goes with it. It's always balanced, right? And so whenever anybody tells me this great thing, I'm always like, yeah, but at what cost? And was the cost worth it? Sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes the answer is no. And when something horrible happens in someone's life or something goes sideways, I always ask, but what did you learn? You know, I mean, my career and yours is the same. You know, the golden circle and the concept of why came out of me losing my passion and hating work. I went through depression. I never want to go through that again, but I'm really glad it happened because look at what it's given me an entirely new life view.
You've got to learn to be more resilient about these things because that is life. Life, as Rocky Balboa said, it's not a bed of roses. Life is tough. Look, it's not how many times you can hit, it's how many times you can get hit, get knocked down, and get back up and keep moving forward. That is what life's about. And I don't think we spend enough time helping people to be mentally strong and resilient. We're spending too much time encouraging a kind of wallowing in self-pity and weakness. And it is, I'm afraid, it's not working.
When you half-ass something, you just don't know whether you failed or succeeded, got what you want or didn't get what you want. Finding out and looking in the mirror and going, I didn't half-ass it, I went all the way, I found out, and that ain't for me. Or I found out, and you damn right that is for me. That's a great place to get to. But the limbo of not knowing, if you half-ass something, the limbo of going, I hedged my bet.
What could have happened?
You don't know.
I always fix the things on the surface. So if I couldn't read and write, I learned to read and write. I would always fix these things on the surface level. And so whenever something hard would raise its ugly head, I didn't have any kind of tools to handle it. Like, man, I thought I fixed this already, man. But no, I didn't go deep into the dungeon of my soul to say, okay, what is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? And so that's why I kept on quitting and going back to start or not knowing how to get through hard times. And that's why I always tell people, I'm not a theorist. I didn't study, I didn't study a fucking book. I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly like a sword. You put a sword in a fire repeatedly and repeatedly. If you keep on doing that, you're gonna get a nice sword. and you keep on beating it. You got to beat the and that's what I am.
Yeah.
I became that. I said, okay, we can't quit. We got to figure out why you are this pussy. Why are you this pussy, man? What is wrong with you? What's going on here? So I kept on putting the sword back in the daggone fire, and I just beat it harder. And I beat it harder. Before I knew it, I started realizing, all right, man, the brain is starting to get hard. The brain is starting to get hard. I'm no longer a theorist. I'm now a practitioner.
A lot of us are running around half-at ourselves, half-fooling ourselves, not full of ourselves, not studying ourselves enough, not holding ourselves to task enough, not patting our own self on the back when we do get what we want enough, not cracking our own whip on our backside when we do get out of line even though we knew better. I wish we were more full of ourselves that way.
I would encourage everyone to play football for the simple reason that it is hard. It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself. Success and achievement come from overcoming adversity.
You have to look inside of yourself to see what you really want. What are you passionate about? We use these words and these little phrases of only the strong survive and all this other crap. They're all just fucking words. The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer.
I think that most people, the reason that they lack success in their life, especially from a financial aspect, is that they lack the courage to make the decisions that need to be made to put them in the position that they want to be in.
I'm nothing. Just let me be nothing.
What are you talking about?
I can't make a track team. I didn't even know why you
Yes,
want
you
me
can. If you could take it, you can make it.
What?
If you can take it, you can make it. All right, you train, you fight way harder than those other guys, and you win. You get out from under them. You could do this, Lou. Just gotta believe you can.
Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. Joy is the feeling that we have from doing what we are fashioned to do, no matter the outcome. And I say, if happiness is what you're after, then you're going to be let down frequently, and you're going to be unhappy much of your time.
Louis, a moment of pain is worth a lifetime of glory. Remember that.
I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
I go to all these conventions, speak all the time. I look in the audience and these people sign up, and every year to go to a convention, thinking they're gonna learn something fucking different. No, you're lazy. You know exactly what to do. Because even me, in my state of, I can't read and write, I knew exactly what to do. It just sucks doing it. It sucks to do it.
If people are succeeding, even slightly, in a job that they hate, think about how good you could be if it was something that you really, really cared about, as opposed to something that you detest.
You have to want it. You have to want to be better. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better.
Do the best you can. These are years that you can't get back.
The saddest thing in life is wasted talent, guys.
I'm not talented. It was life and death. Either you live or you die. Which one do you want, Tom? That was the decision. If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you can't do something, not even yourself.
To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts.
You have to be obsessed. You have to be mission focused. You have to be driven by something greater than what average people are driven by.
Work your ass off. There is no magic bill. There is no magic out there. You cannot get around. You have to work and work and work. I can tell you, it's all about the hard work that you put in.
There's going to be plenty of times where you don't feel like waking up, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like getting your workout in, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like drinking your 30 ounces of water, but you do it anyway. You don't feel like eating clean, but you do it anyway, because that is what greatness demands of us.
Those I can't catch a break guys, get them the f away from me. I can't be around those guys. And I've had a bunch of shitty breaks. Everybody has. But you got to realize when you have those shitty breaks what that is. It's an opportunity for you to reassess, reboot, get better, figure out another way, find another way through. It's just little challenges. And the people that look at those challenges and go, why do I always have these challenges? They're cancer. You go and get after it. You don't make any excuses.
I would look for any excuse to justify me not doing what I was supposed to do.
I heard the pull-up record was 4,020 pull-ups, and I was talking about breaking this record. People are like, oh my God. I went right to a pen and paper. They go, what are you doing? I'm doing the math, man. What are you talking about? I'm open-minded to the fact that, okay, if I do 5 pull-ups in a minute for so many hours, I can get so many pull-ups in. How much time do I have to rest? I was breaking the math down. You have to be open-minded to the possibilities that I can do this. Once you shut your mind down to the possibility that it can be achieved, there's no way it can happen.
When you guys find a fear, that fear will either create you or destroy you. I love fear, and the reason why, behind every fear is a person you want to be.
Make a choice. You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way.
When you do the hard things, you will have a happy and easy life. But if you constantly choose to take the path of easy and negotiate and compromise, you will have a hard life.
Marcus Aurelius says your only focus should be on getting better at what you're doing. Focus on what you're doing, get better at what you're doing. Everything else is a complete waste of time.
The greatest achievement of somebody comes right after their worst defeat. When they've hit rock bottom, hit the bottom of the barrel, they got nothing left. Everyone's given up on them. They've lost all their worldly possessions. They're dead broke on their back. It's at that point, guys, when everything's lost, that everything can be gained.
Let's do a what if.
What if what?
What if you lose?
I don't even see, I can't, my consciousness don't even elevate that thought.
Therefore, if it happens, you'd be distraught, crazed, what?
It's not my nature to allow that to happen.
Focus on what you can control. Focus on what you're getting, not what anyone else is getting. Whenever you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it. You treat it like it's the Super Bowl. You treat it like it's game day. Go out there and treat practice like no one else does.
You have to build yourself into someone who can continue to execute regardless of what's happening around you.
So what keeps me going? I've quit several things. I know what's on the back end of fucking quitting. It's a lifetime of thinking about why the fuck did I do that?
We're built to walk uphill. And when you reach the pinnacle of the hill, you want to stop and appreciate the vision. But the next thing you want is a higher hill in the distance, because it's the uphill climb that it's from the uphill climb that we derive our value. And I mean this technically. You want a goal that you can never attain, right? So you can always move closer to the goal that recedes as you move towards it. You think, well, that's frustrating. It's like Sisyphus pushing the rock uphill. But it's not, because as you pursue that goal, you put yourself together and your life does get better and richer and more abundant.
You can try to be lucky and pick the one perfect thing and try and make it, but if you don't want to try and be lucky, you can just do so much fucking work that you will brute force your way to figuring it out. Like if you do 1,000 podcasts, you'll be pretty fucking good at podcasts, right? But if you try to say, okay, you're brand new And all you have to do is make one perfect podcast. The problem is that you don't have the perspective from which to make a judgment to say what is good, because you have zero data to base anything off of. And so you're basing your idea of a perfect podcast on something that you've literally never done before. And so doing the volume gives you the perspective to then have the best podcast at number 1000 or 1001.
Well, everybody knows you got to pay a price for winning, but most people aren't willing to pay it. They may pay it once, but literally you got to pay it every single day. And the crazy part about that is the price changes daily. Just like the stock market goes up and down, the price of winning changes on a daily basis. And you got to be willing to pay that price, whatever it is on that day.
You should be very proud of yourself right now. You know? Came in here with a desire. You put action to that desire. That combination explodes into potential, whatever you want to make happen. This world is your playground, man, if you want it to be. Everything that's you ever dreamed of becoming, some human made it happen. The only difference between that human and you all create equally, right? Except up here, we have the ability to enhance or to destroy this guy. And that will have a cause and effect if this is enhanced or destroyed. Right here, guys. That's why I always say the gym is a mind-body connection. It's not about just the gym and getting big. It's a metaphor of life. You come in here, you build your body, and it's non-subjective nature. You build a confidence that, in your opinion, what you feel is stronger than anything else. Like I said before, winners, their belief overrides the disbelief of the crowd every single time. So no matter what happens, they believe in themselves when no one else is out there. That's gonna be the make or break. That's gonna be the details of success. That's gonna be the cause combined to the effect. That's the life you wanna live. That's the life you can live. That's the life you better start living.
What I realized is for me to become the man I wanted to become, I saw myself as the weakest person God ever created. But I never blamed God for anything he did to me. So I wanted to change that to be the hardest man ever created. Am I that? I don't know, but you had to have a goal. Right. And my goal when I was sitting there, not going to school, being bullied, having no self-esteem, my goal was the only person that's gonna turn this person around is me. And the only way I can turn it around is put myself through the worst things possible a human being can ever endure. And that'd be the only way that I can build this brain to handle anything that comes in front of it, callousing my mind.
The feeling I feel right now, as bad as it feels, is like a hell of a lot better of a feeling than a life where you throw the towel in. That's something you never recover from. Tomorrow morning, I'll wake up stronger. I'll feel alive, and I'll have the belief and confidence backing me up. After a good night's rest, I can only get better. When the towel's down in life, there's no more rounds, man. You throw it in. I feel like right now that I can pick the towel back up. I'm gonna be stronger tomorrow, the next round. Life, guys, it's a plan of action. If you don't have the plan, I guarantee you someone's gonna use you as part of their fucking plan. Stop going on about the day as a servant. Become the master. Run your day and stop having it run you.
It will be more difficult. It will require more effort on your part. But you know what I can tell you about that? When you do the hard things, you will have a happy and easy life. But if you constantly choose to take the path of easy and negotiate and compromise, you will have a hard life.
If you want something bad enough, you can't let anybody tell you you can't do something, not even yourself.
Whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence.
Work day and night.
Really?
Do as many things, learn as much as you can, fail as often as possible.
What about work-life balance in your 20s?
Okay. Because that's the time to put in the hard work. Your work-life balance actually comes out later.
Nobody else at the moment has the power to change you unless you have that initial spark and say, I must do something. I don't want this anymore.
If you want to change your life, you must change your ways. You must develop discipline.
In order for something new to come, something old must go.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition.
That pain you feel, that's the pain of success. You must be willing to shoulder that pain to get the success. The success is something that's a very lonely path in this world, because few are willing to make that down payment of pain for that future of success, the better life. Very few are.
Make up your own mission statement. What do you want to be in life? And once you do that, now you can work with somebody to get better. You can work with yourself to get better. But until you know what you want to stand for, you will always just be sitting down. You'll never stand for anything.
The easiest thing in life is to give up. The hardest thing is to keep going, but we have to.
People give up right before they get what they've always wanted to get. People quit.
The thing is, man, it's always going to be a party. There's always going to be a time to celebrate and a time to join friends or a day to, the bars are always open. Always open. No matter how old you are, they're always open, you know? What's not always open is the opportunity to check the box in life, to achieve your dreams. That's not always open.
It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting after it every daggone day.
I love the mentality that I'm just beating my competitors silently where they don't even know it. They're out partying, I'm out here getting ahead.
When you figure out who you are and what you want to do, and you devote your life to it, like you're all in on this thing, most of these people end up doing what they say they're going to do and being who they say they're going to become.
If you only did what you were supposed to do when you were motivated to do it, that's leaving it to chance. But if you're disciplined, you go do what you're supposed to do.
If you're going to do it, do it. Say what you can do what you say. If you can't do it, don't say you can do it. Don't over-leverage yourself. Don't over-leverage a decision and then jump in and kind of dip a toe. I think I'll try it out. No, think if you're going to try it out beforehand, but when it's time to go, dive. Finish it, find out.
Astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal. By being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average.
Move towards that challenge, whatever that challenge is. And you may be successful, and you may not be successful, but you will be better.
Do the best you can. These are years that you can't get back. Saddest thing in life is wasted talent, guys.
You have no f***ing idea how great you really are. Because you are using such minimal of what you have.
If you give up on your dreams, what do you have left? Nothing.
If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
Whatever I'm afraid to do, I do it. Anything I'm afraid of, I confront it. And that's my personality.
One of the strongest mental frames that has gotten me through my hardest times is thinking this will be the story that I will one day tell. And that means the harder it is, the bigger the dragon, the more epic the story, and by consequence, the more epic the hero.
You can achieve the absolute impossible. You don't need great parents. You don't need like a private school. You don't need to have this humongous GPA and all this other stuff. What you need is the one thing I talk about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world.
Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the fucking mold, guys. You get the out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. Doing the same thing, expecting a different result doesn't work that way. You must switch up the mainframe.
Expect big things. Think big. Think big. You can do it. You can do it. Why can't I do it? Take a little bit of piece at a time, have daily goals, monthly goals, but you can make it happen. It can happen. What's impossible in your life, go after that. Have that.
The only way to become more successful than most people is to be willing to do something most people aren't willing to do.
The big challenge is when you're not willing to do something, but you have to do it. You have to challenge yourself to be consistent. Sometimes it's hard because everyone wants to be Cristiano, but I give you the map. You think you will do it that? It's difficult. It's
the discipline.
The discipline is the most difficult thing, not only in sports, but in life.
One of your quotes is, when you're winning, you're not as good as you think you are. When you're losing, you're not as bad as you think you are. What's that mean to you?
When you're winning, everybody's telling you how amazing you are. Oh my God, let me tell you, dude, you know what? You're the best. You're amazing. You know, you're just better than that guy, and you're better than this guy. And it always takes me back to that quote of Marcus Aurelius, who had a slave that would sit behind him and always whisper to him, hey,
you're just a man.
You're just a man.
Act like the person you want to become. That's not fake it till you make it, by the way. This is intentional. Intentionally act like the person you want to become. Because when you intentionally act like the person you want to become, your brain sees you taking those actions, so your brain starts to change the way it relates to you.
4th grade, I went in my closet, I said, I am going to the NBA. Anything you invoke with I am after it, the power of manifestation and what can happen in the universe comes true.
I have so much unconditional belief in myself that I tell people that if you believe in yourself, if you genuinely believe in yourself, you are 75% already there. If you believe yourself, put in the work, it's done.
You know what you're supposed to do. Deep down inside, I think everybody does. And a lot of people just don't go after it. You know, and like most people start out, they say, I want to be a this, but I'm going to get that to make sure I have something to fall back on. Yeah. And what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for failure because you're going, there's a possibility that I'm going to fall back. And when you put that out there, then you fall back. But if you just say, hey, this is what I want to do, and you go do it, you usually get your stuff the way you want it, man.
If they don't have what you want, don't listen to what they say. There's no greater waste of time than justifying your actions to people who have a life you don't want.
What the hell are we all waiting for to start attacking life? Waiting for the stars to align? Back when I was growing up, the sun came out. All I need is a miracle. Well, guess what? That miracle ain't coming. There is no perfect time to start. You gotta start now with changing your life.
On the other end of suffering is a life that many people don't know even exists. It's a beautiful world because like the 40% rule. We all live in this world where our brains are keeping us in this box. Outside that box, on the other edge of suffering, which is on the other edge of that 40%, is a world that's endless of opportunity. But we are afraid to go outside that box because in that box is comfortable. That's where all of our nice stuff, you know, that's where the nice 4-lane highway's at. I know where the restrooms are at. I know where the gas stations are at. Outside that box, man, God gives you a shovel and says, man, start digging. That's not fun. But when you dig your own path to all kind of stuff that's unknown. And that's why I started realizing, man, like on the other end of this is some beautiful stuff. So I got outside my box and realized, man, 300 pounds, now look at me, I'm 185 pounds. And on the other side of the box was all this stuff. And I didn't know it was over there until I climbed the wall.